So to own your brand, you need what I call a winning trademark strategy. Here's the first thing you do. So if you're not sure you own your brand because you've registered it, write this down. Do a comprehensive search when naming your company, product, or service. Right? So you might have your overall brand name, like my Reib Law is our firm, and then my main service is called the Access Plan. That's a trademark. So your wheels should be turning. What things do I have in my business that might be a brand name that I haven't protected? You have to do a comprehensive search. Don't just search for what's registered. Look for trademarks that have already been made and are being used, because there's a common law trademark. So maybe someone else has already got it in Arizona and you're doing your business in Utah. So you got to be a little more bigger picture. Don't ignore it just because it's been abandoned or canceled, because in the United States Patent and Trademark Office, you have to renew your trademark. If someone didn't, it might look abandoned, but if they're still using it, they've still got priority. So you got to look around. So you got to do some Google searches. It's nuanced. Look for color schemes similar to yours. So don't just look at the words, look at how they're being used. What are the colors around them? What are the shapes? Look outside your industry, right? Here's an example of that. One of the things that they use when you're looking at your trademark application is your mark deceptively similar to other marks. Now, I wouldn't have thought that In-N-Out cleaners would be a problem for In-N-Out burgers, but it is. It's their trade dress. It's too similar. So you wouldn't want to use that. And that's a real-life example. Slide's not good. You need to get an objective opinion when you're looking at these things, right? Because we get really creative on our laptops and our desktops, and we create these things in Canva or Adobe InDesign, and we have these really cool logos. Or maybe we even pay someone on Fiverr or Upworks to do it, and we fall in love with it, and we think it's the best. And so when you're doing the searches yourself, you're gonna be prejudiced, biased, and you're gonna want your mark to be okay. So get a third objective opinion. And I don't even just mean a lawyer's opinion. Get some marketing professionals to look at it with you. Get some other business owners to look at it with you, right? Because they can see the forest for the trees and you can't. So get that opinion. Use your mark in commerce. So don't just dream about it, think about it, use it. How do you use it in commerce? Build a funnel. Get a landing page, get a thank you page, get it on social media, get an Instagram handle. Get it out there and start selling the service. Market it. Don't just think about it. Because the date of first use in commerce is the date when the goods were first sold or shipped. So you got to get it out there. Because if you're not using it, if it's just an idea and someone else beats you to it, it's too late. You snooze, you lose. Here's something else you need to make sure you're doing. If you right now just have the common law trademark because you haven't been approved by the United States Patent and Trademark Office, you use the TM in the middle there. It's an unregistered trademark. And so you should always have that next to your logo, if you haven't registered it yet, to tell the world that you consider that to be your trademark for your brand. Once it's registered, then you can use the circle R, and they'll give you a certificate telling you can do that. If it's a service mark or logo, you can use the SM beside it. But make sure you're doing that. And so that means you have to make sure your team knows how to do this. You have to redo your logos a little bit to add the mark next to them. And then everyone has to know the brand is sacred. We have to protect the brand. And so we have to have these marks next to our logo and next to our company name as much as possible. If you don't use it once or twice, it's not a big deal. You don't have to use it if it's a blog and you're mentioning your company, you don't have to use it every time. But when it's on top of a page, when it's on a banner, it needs to be used. And then police your mark. So have someone in your team, and if it's just you, then you need to be searching regularly your brand names on Google, on Bing. Use some of the different search engines and just see what comes up. And then use the different tabs. Use the news tab and see what's in the news. Use images and just look around and make sure that someone's not maybe innocently using your marks. Right? And then if they are, you need to take action. What does that action look like? You would want to send them a cease and desist letter. I wouldn't suggest you do that on your own. That's when you would want to contact a trademark lawyer and have them take over and negotiate them to stop using it. If it's innocent, they'll probably stop. And if not, then you may have to actually take them to court, get an injunction, and then continue the lawsuit.